We're back in Florida already. I actually changed my flight and shifted a little bit earlier. The boys stayed over in Ireland to prep the car for the next round of Drift Masters. But with E-Town right around the weekend, I wanted to get back, use some of what I learned in Drift Masters to set the car up here differently for Formula Drift Englishtown, primarily so I can flick more aggressively and maybe even do a couple backies. So I'll put a couple clips in here of testing real quick, because I basically only had a few hours to mess with the car before it needed to get transported up to New Jersey. You probably tell from the footage, but the car's driving exactly how I wanted to for E-Town, so I'm excited, and you bet you I'm gonna try to throw some backies. Apart from that, make sure to stop by the LZ merch booth. We got a bunch of cool stuff, new stuff, even old throwback designs where we do a special on. I forgot to mention the last video, we've got this new tee. This is available now. It's the Drift Masters E36 tee, another amazing design, and some other new stuff. I've been doing a real bad job at announcing it, but check it out. And of course, every $5 you spend gets you entered for a chance to win this thing behind me, which we'll go into detail later on in this video. Links in the description. All right, contender number 2 in the Breezy Rally series. We are celebrating the launch of Breezy, a new hard juice drink, 40% alcohol. It's not that. It's 40% juice, 8% alcohol, and Grant is about to do a lap.
We are all one big friend group, and Tommy scumbagged us into drinking Bay Breezes, and now we all love them. So we all partnered together with Noka and Breezy to promote this awesome drink. I'm excited. I did a few half laps yesterday, but I think I'm gonna do all right. I got DJ as my passenger, so good old DJ No Way, and then I have to go with him too, which I didn't realize at first when I picked him as my passenger, but that's water under the bridge.
Yeah, he's going. All right, going into Grant's lap, I set a 45.26. Tommy, you were in the 48s. I feel like I kind of had low expectations, but you looked pretty fast out there.
So my plan, one, I didn't want to hit a tree.
Good plan, good plan.
A lot of trees.
2, everybody kept saying the slower is the faster, so I was very reserved. Really curious to see how it goes.
We'll find out right now.
All right.
Oh my God, DJ, you clip it!
Dude, look at how short it is.
Grant teaching DJ how to put a seatbelt on.
Are you ready, DJ?
I'm not ready.
He's got
I'm so excited.
My head is the...
over the hat.
You want this one?
Watch this one.
Yeah. Open her up! Hey, where do we go?
Let's go, Grant.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the first lap's the fast one.
You just left it in first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Crazy.
I wish I
DJ just like.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, wipers! Dude, this thing ain't going anywhere!
Nice, nice.
DJ looks like he's walking his backpack.
Kind of does.
I was a little nervous at first. Because this was the first stop.
I was
Oh,
pretty.
I'm done.
Oh, you parked it. You might be beating Tommy.
I don't know.
It's really difficult.
He goes, it's really difficult.
Look at DJ.
Did he pass out?
I feel like he made it so much
Look how tall he's not responding.
DJ, what's going on there?
Unresponsive. How did you do that the whole time?
Is that a joke?
Did you? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, what if Tommy's
Bro, and
the
that was the
fastest?
slowest one we did, I think. I'm curious to see what happens. I think that was our fastest lap.
Dude, it felt the most fluent. Like,
It felt smooth, right?
Yeah.
I was like, this feels relaxing.
All right, Grant, you are now in second place behind Tommy. We got a 48, we got a 50.
Yep.
And remember, guys.
If you want your Breezy, link in the description for the store locator. 40% juice, 8% alcohol. And if they don't have it at your local store, You gotta ask for it.
Next up, you guys are gonna get to see DJ behind the wheel.
Stoked.
I don't remember what video it was in, but I know I already mentioned that Sean hung back and he's been wrenching away at this thing. But first up, it needed the engine, which was conveniently enough located in my other yellow S15. I honestly hate pulling apart good working cars, but on the flip side, having to take the engine out of it kind of lights a fire under my ass to get that build started sooner. I've had this 2.2 liter Mazworks VVL SR20 sitting on a stand now for like the better half of probably 3 years. So I'm very excited to finally do something with it. I've been torn just because I really want to put it in a drift car so I get to like use and abuse it. But at the same time, I also really want it in like my dream S15 build, even if it's just a cruiser. I'll talk more about it in like future videos, but I think I'm gonna approach this build way differently than I have past builds, just from the sense of, I think I'm getting older, maybe I'm getting a little bit more mature, but like I'm gonna try to make this car like really smooth and comfortable and quiet. Weird, I know, but we're gonna take a little bit different approach towards some things on this build than other ones, and I'm excited to kind of share that with you guys. Otherwise, like, we obviously know how to build an SRS 15 and we could rinse and repeat and copy the same thing over and over again, but rather than being spicy, it will be subtly spiced with a kick.
It'll be seasoned.
It will be well-seasoned build. I like that. It's not we got a spicy S15, then we have a well-seasoned. We've got a real infestation problem. I don't know anything about lily pads, and sure, I could ask AI or I could look it up on Google, but my more effective route of handling issues like this is asking my YouTube video, because the odds of one of you guys being a pond expert is extremely high. I don't know what the view count will be in this video, but I think it's safe to say there's probably 10 people watching this that do nothing but work on ponds for a living, and probably 1,000 of you guys that watch videos about ponds that would be able to educate me on this problem. So let me know what I could do about this. It's really killing my vibe. Can you imagine if like enough grew to where like it didn't look like a pond anymore, and you went to like just drive through, but it's never.
Just fall straight in the water.
Yeah, damn, dude, the rubber marks here are crazy.
I know, it's like pavement.
I swear people drift when I'm not here. That guy over there, he's a little outside. That's not me.
It might have been your bud, Dylan.
Oh yeah, Dylan did drift here. I forgot about that. See, I got a good intuition. I wish I put it in this video. Dylan let me drive his car. It was really cool.
Really?
I think spicy. It sounds so good. I don't know why, but yeah, I got to drive Dylan's car.
Big flex.
Another little compound update. I don't know if you remember this really ugly pond that I made with the skid steer, but it looks like it's doing its job, because before, the water, when we would have a lot of rain, it used to traditionally stay up to here, then we couldn't drift. But looks like it's doing its thing. I should probably make it a little bit wider, but I learned with water stuff, it's not about how deep you make it, it's about the surface area of width that's below the level. So if I move some of that dirt to widen that up, even if it went there, it just gives water more room to go down. Basically here, we're like underwater, so deepness doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you keep digging. Water literally will just cut, water is at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Even when it's dry. Our water table is there. So, yeah.
Woohoo!
Since this video is pretty much entirely dedicated to S15s, it felt only right to mention the king of S15s himself, Oka-chan, Mr. Yashio Factory. This hoodie that I'm wearing right now is available over on Yashio Factory, and if you pick one up, you are supporting one of Oka-chan's lifelong dreams of heading to World Time Attack this year and going to compete. It's gonna be really cool. His Time Attack car is fast as in Japan, and I know I, for one, am excited to see what he can do at World Time Attack. So, you know him, you love him, go pick up one of his hoodies or anything else on the Yashio Factory site. I'll put the link in the description. And while we're talking about Yashio Factory, I see a lot of comments asking, what's going on with this thing? I don't think that I want to compete in this car. I'm pretty like attached at this point to the E36 chassis, but it does need a purpose, and I want to drive it, whether it's at like fun events or something like that. I want to use this car as kind of like a platform to R&D different things. So we have 2 competition E36s. I don't like trying new things in competition. So an example is this motor, even though it's a 3 liter, not a 3.4, I want to do my first drive-by-wire setup. I've had an attachment against drive-by-wire just because I've seen a lot of issues with it on other people's cars, even on my own cars, so I've been scared. But with drive-by-wire, you can implement a lot of cool things, like a high idle switch, which was cool as f on Dylan Hughes' car. I got to drive that. I think I already said it in this video. Also, you can implement a very simplistic form of anti-lag. I really want to do anti-lag, but again, it's a new thing that I don't want to like experiment with and learn that it causes this to fail or that to fail in competition. So this car is going to become like a test dummy for lots of wild things like maybe compound turbo or twin turbo, anti-lag, and all of the wild stuff. So imagine this car is kind of like the experimental machine. We do have a G-Force 4-speed dog box for it. I don't remember if I've said that or not. However, so basically the G-Force that I got for this car has been my spare for the FD season. Rather than getting another one, it was like, well, I'll just take the one that's designated for this car. That one can kind of be the one that I use just in case I need it, instead of just buying lots of excess things. So maybe at some point this car will get a 3.4, but for now it'll say 3 liter, and we'll be able to kind of like test and rule out all the things that we want to experiment with. But a lot of you guys asked about this car. It's one of my favorite cars. There's a bunch of new stuff that I want to try in it too, like the new version of WiseFab that basically converts it to a front rack setup. And I think I'll get this car to drive really good. I don't think I'll ever compete in FD with it, but it'll be fun to experiment and mess around with. All right, so we stopped by the prep bay so we can talk with Ray and Josh and see how the yellow S15 bay has been going. Ray, give me the status. What'd you find with this thing? Anything hidden?
So mostly we had to fill in some holes like in this area. We had to open up that hole for the intercooler piping, I believe. A couple little rust spots, but not bad. Then there was just like runs all over the engine bay. Like whoever did this, I don't know what happened at the factory, but you could see some right there still.
So that wouldn't be like from someone painting it after the fact, or?
No, this is factory, dude. Like you could tell it's factory because you literally have the yellow and then you got the E-coat. You know, that's like the primer from the factory. So it's like, this is 100% factory. I've noticed with Nissan engine bays, they didn't care. They just did not give a shit with these.
I thought it was so weird too, like this in front. I had to call Tommy because I thought someone maybe crashed the lower radiator support and like painted it black, but I guess this is literally factory too.
It's so weird. It's like, I mean, honestly, even the MK5 did like the Supra, you could see like where they only put paint where it was seen. Yeah. And then it's just missing paint everywhere.
All right, so we got the side mount stuff deleted over here. Josh got a nice little hole for us, and that'll be for the intercooler piping. Yeah. What's the process for the bed liner and the wheel wells?
Oh, yep. So right now we're getting both wheel wells ready. So we're basically scuffing everything up and getting it ready to spray the bed liner. So this involves like doing 80 grit, trying to scuff everything up, making it rough enough so that everything sticks to it. And then also with this particular car, I noticed this stuff is like, you can see it's very odd the way it's shot on here. Yeah. It's not even. Like it's like thick in some, really thick in some areas, so we've been knocking it down a little bit and making it like more evenly as well. Obviously we're gonna coat the whole thing like probably up to this line here and underneath.
A thing to look out for if you guys are purchasing like an S15, even like a JDM S14, Skyline or whatever, the strut towers are really susceptible to rust. There's a lot of videos like showing it, and people even swap them. I think Jimmy swapped the strut towers on his R34, but you can usually tell just looking in here, just seeing any little bits of rust. Sometimes if there's black paint in there, that's probably a bad sign. But even like sometimes up in this area, I want to say it's like you can look and you can kind of see it start in here. Do you know why that is, Ray?
I would say the seam sealer kind of starts to fail in these areas, and once it gets moisture, because it's multi-level of metals, moisture gets trapped in between them, and then you start to get that rust. I've noticed in S chassis, like this is the second or third S15 we worked on, and I noticed we have the same spots like over there, over here as well, and over here. And like the other car had it as well. Yeah. So it's like, it seems like those are common areas. And what I've noticed here is that there's multi-levels of metal there. And it seems once that seam sealer breaks, water seeps in and then it starts to bubble.
What's the way to prevent it from happening? Like if you're doing this and you don't want it to happen, is it just like resealing that area, or?
I would say your best steps here would be grind that out as best as you can. Obviously that's a hard area to work on. Yeah. But try to grind it out as much as you can. If you need to cut it out and weld it, that would be ideal. If not, take it down as much as you can. Use OSFO, which we have some over there, and just neutralize that rust. And then you could do some body work over that or prime it, you know, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna prime this whole engine bay, try to get it as nice as possible and to seal it from any potential rust.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be the best thing you can do to it.
It's so tough with engine bays because like we had the conversation with this thing of going the full show car route and basically shaving every single hole, and you can make it look really nice, but I think for me, I don't want to say it's a law of diminishing returns, but I don't think I value it enough where I think just the OE look of having the bolt holes and like this stuff still there, I think I like just as much as like when you have a fully shaved bay and all the holes and everything sealed and that. One day we'll do it.
Yeah.
But not this one. Literally, we're talking about not going too crazy with this, and then I was just like, yeah, you know, like if we were gonna like patch stuff, I'd probably like patch this hole and like this hole, and then it's like, where do you stop? And I didn't realize Josh patched the other one on the other car, so now I have to do it on this one.
You have to.
All right, so we'll patch this one. But I think we can. I'm gonna relocate the battery to the trunk, but I think this one will be. I don't even know what that's from. Is that from like the washer fluid thing that like dips down in that hole?
Yeah, I think so.
These ones are just get annoying because if you like drive through puddles, the wheel will like flip up dirt into the engine
That
bay
one
and
makes
stuff.
sense, yeah. I would agree.
Yeah, that one, like, I mean, then you gotta like knock this down. You have to cut a bigger hole because it's raised.
To flatten it.
You might as well fill this one too. This one.
No, that's for the intercooling. I just did that.
I know. Looking good, boys. I wanna add a disclaimer. This is not the valve cover that is gonna live for this car. However, I was thinking about doing it white to tie into the wheels and then doing like orange lettering. But now seeing it, I'm kind of feeling like color match might be the way.
You think?
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with color match.
It's giving me like creamsicle vibes.
Yeah,
right
it doesn't hit as hard, but maybe the orange letters would pull it together. So we'll see. I got a handful of powders from Prismatic Powders, so we'll have some stuff we can play with. Another cool thing. Check out how beautiful this radiator is. So we put one of these in the Subaru, and it was probably the most beautiful stock replacement radiator I've ever seen. I've told you guys a million times why I like PWR. Their is literally the best. It is the most efficient. Quality is the highest. And I feel like in the S chassis world, everyone kind of gets the same kind of radiators because you don't know that other stuff exists. This is a beautiful piece, and I've got the perfect thing to seal it off. Look at that. The welds on this. And if you wanted to build up a factory shroud, it has the provisions for it. I think we're gonna do E-fans though, more from a cleanliness standpoint. The stock clutch fan works really good on SRs, but I feel like it looks kind of ugly. So next steps on this thing, when Johan is back from Ireland, he'll do up the fab stuff. Nothing too crazy, some intercooler piping, quick little downpipe. This car should sound pretty much identical to my green S15, but I'll probably build it to be a little bit quieter since this is targeted to be a street car. But overall, this thing's coming out really sick.
The way that the bay looks on camera in contrast with the engine is nuts.
Really?
Like just the richness in color and everything.
It was a really expensive color.
It's crazy.
I love this color. It is really cool. We joked about trying to keep this car and get rid of the green S15 instead. but like that chassis is like pretty I'd feel really bad about that.
Yeah.
And like, I'd say I'd be scared to drift this car, but I wouldn't. I didn't think though when we painted this is pretty similar to Hertz color.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's not far off.
Maybe I could convince him to enter the giveaway.
Yeah.
You think?
I think that'd look kind of weird if he ever won.
I almost asked people to slide into his DMs and be like, "Yo, Hurt, you should enter this giveaway," but he'd be really annoyed if I did that. So don't do that. And if someone did do that and then you get linked to this video, Hurt, I'm sorry, I told him not to. I shouldn't have speak my mind. See, that's what I get for not thinking before I speak. Anyway, the next time I see you guys, I'll already be up at E-Town, having fun with the Blue E36, shredding some laps. It's a busy next month of competing and traveling, but there's some cool places that we're going. Stoked to bring you guys along with us, and I'll see you soon. Rather than being spicy, it will be subtly spiced with a kick.
It'll be seasoned.
It will be well seasoned built. I like that. It's not we got a spicy S15 and we have a well seasoned.